So, Claire, I'm really looking forward to coming to Burton Street next Thursday for doing the Third Sector Cafe. And I just wanted to take a moment just to ask you a little bit about what you've been getting out of working with Andy, so that people thinking about coming next Thursday might understand more about what we'll be looking at. So I know you've been working with Andy for a little while, but if I just take you back a little bit to where Burton Street made the transition into thinking of generating profit and starting to trade. How long have you been doing that, and what sort of prompted you to make that move?
Well, I think it probably happened about 7 or 8 years ago when Burton Street got into difficulty and almost went under. So at that point, the trustees made the decision that we've got to actually become a sustainable organisation. So for us, although we're a not-for-profit organisation, we've had to focus quite clearly on making small amounts of profit to enable us to grow, be sustainable and to develop as an organisation. So I would say we've been working in this way for about six years or more.
And that sounds a very painful experience, but the positive side of it, I guess, is that you're developing more independence from grants that may come or go dependent on what the government wants to fund at the time.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we did have a large grant from Power to Change in the last sort of financial year, but before then we were about early 90% really have been, our income is derived without grants. So yeah, about 92% of our income is self-funded. That's
fantastic. So, and what was it you wanted to achieve through working with Andy? What's he been doing with you?
Andy's been working with me and with a couple of senior managers for a little while on the Up and Coming Leaders programme, but now he's working with our middle managers. So there are 9 managers that are on a programme, and it's really about increasing their skill levels for them to learn what the qualities of a leader is as opposed to a manager, learning really what qualities they need to be able to lead their team. What is okay to delegate and what's okay for them to do themselves, for them to understand the finances and for their own departments and how that impacts on the organisation. So one of the things that he's been doing recently, he's encouraged all of the managers to critique the senior managers, and at the moment it wasn't too painful.
Okay.
And now they're going through the same process. So their staff teams and the senior managers and their colleagues are kind of doing a bit of a 360 appraisal so that each of them understands how they're perceived, what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are, so that they can individually develop.
And why does this for you link to your ability to generate commercial income?
Because each of the managers now is accountable for their own department, so they write their own business plans and then they are all sort of incorporated in the overall business plan for Burton Street, which is about ongoing sustainability and development of our services and resources.
So you've got managers who have been attracted to Burton Street because of your charitable purpose and have been there perhaps for a while, and as Burton Street made the switch into generating more and more of your income through sort of commercial activities, there was a bit of a gap in terms of the skill set and the way that, so that's sort of...
I mean, one of the ways that was identified, we went for Investors in People about a year ago.
Yeah. Oh, I've lost your internet.
It was felt that we need... Sorry?
I just lost your internet there. So you were saying you went for Investors in People.
Investors in People, we didn't get it, and one of the reasons was that we felt that we needed to put a bit more input really into the management development training. So we put a lot of emphasis on staff training, but not so much on managers training.
Yeah.
And certainly we've come on a lot over the last year, and we've just secured Investors in People. So.
Oh, well done, because it's no easy process.
No.
Well, that's great. And so I'm encouraging people who have charities that are thinking of generating more income through trading to come along on Thursday. And what would you say from your experience of working with Andy, what might they get if they come?
I think they'll get an appreciation that actually running a not-for-profit organisation or a charity is no different from running a business.
That's exactly what he said in his interview.
Lots of the qualities and skills that you need to run a business are exactly those same skills that you need to run a successful social enterprise or a not-for-profit. Yeah. So I think that's what you'll get.
Lovely. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. We've been to Burton Street before and it's a fantastic setup, and we're very grateful that you're hosting next Thursday's meeting and excited to be there. So thank you very much, Claire, and we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you.
See you on Thursday. Bye.